See, when I do the countdown, I get in trouble. I'm sitting here with my countdown like 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the FBI comes knocking at my door.
What is it you pray for?
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Folks, I hope you can hear this. I don't know. I'm having issues. I may have to reboot again. This is getting freaking ridiculous. So, but yeah, let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Everything's kind of screwy right now. Okay. How's that? Is that better? Let me know. I can't tell on this end, so yeah, I don't think that was working. Give me just a second. I'm gonna try and switch to something else here. Okay, no, that should be running just fine. Okay, how's that, folks? Hopefully that's a little. Nomi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I'm having severe internet issues at the moment, so this is
sounds like it. It looks like it.
Showing up. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. So, welcome to the show, folks. Again, sorry about this. You might notice a distinct lack of Larry on the screen. He had some IRL stuff that came up real sudden, so he wasn't able to make it tonight. So we're going to push the thing discussion back to next week when he'll be available, and hopefully everything is working properly. Then we'll see what happens. But anyhow,
that I came in for the nick of time to help you with the show. Oh no, folks!
Yeah.
Oh man!
Damn it! All right, I'll be right back. I gotta reboot again.
Okay, I will take care of the show for you. Hello, chat. I am off camera because I've already taken off my makeup for the evening. It's not a pretty sight. I can embrace my natural look, but I'm okay not showing it, revealing it to you guys. And then Zillage, if I had the power to highlight comments, yes, it looks like it's gonna be a Nomi show, but I'm gonna do my best to not make it a Nomi show. But yeah, update on for Windows 95. Oh my gosh. Hi, Zillage. Nice to see you. It's been a minute. Aaron Lara, Shadu, Lipot, Lefleur. Hello. Beak, thank you so much for showing up in the game chat earlier. You're a real one. Oh, it is the Nomi show. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. Didn't mean to do a little razzle dazzle to that. Anyway, well, I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't expecting this, but we should have expected this from Samuel to have crappy internet giving him troubles. But welcome to Abyssal Musings. I'm one of the 3 hosts here that I can make up, come out here whenever I'm available. It looks like my evenings are going to be free now from going forward from the bar, just because it was just a little too much. And one, I've been on leave. I don't know a lot of people know about this, but I had a pretty big surgery earlier this year. I had to have a tumor removed, so I was on medical leave, and thankfully the bar is like, you know what, take the time that you like. And I can't do evenings anymore because, nightlife, drunk people, college students, I really can't do it. I can only cater to like the older folks who are like, yeah, even though it's like 2:00 in the afternoon, we're here for our 2 beers and then go to bed by 5:00. I was like, all right, you're the type of people I need to hang out with. So that's why my evenings will be a lot freer now. Nermy, hello, nice to see you, Cav. Yeah, Zillich, yeah, that was not fun. Thankfully everything's good now. They removed the tumor. Thankfully the tumor was not cancerous, but they did find a cancerous cell while they were operating. They did remove it because it looked suspicious to them at the time, and then they sent it to the pathologist, and when it came back, it was the beginning stages of malignancy. So they caught it. So I'm still in recovery. I'm still doing good, but yeah, but I'm doing pretty good. Hopefully this isn't a whole evening thing where Samuel's internet is going to be out, but I'm glad I'm able to help out. I should have told him that to the dudes here, that my evenings would be a lot better. Jacob and Zillage, yeah, no, 100% I am okay. Unwittingly, I was not expecting to lose 40 pounds. I'm kind of happy about, not kind of, I am happy that I lost 40 pounds, but I wasn't even trying to lose weight. That's just how severe that tumor was that it was that big, caused a lot of inflammation in my body. And then since they removed it, I basically they think of a balloon and deflates, just like, yeah, Shadow. It was my surgery was on the 11th of February. I'm doing really well. I have a pretty long scar across my abdomen. But thankfully I have some stuff to help me heal over the scar, and it looks like it's doing a pretty good job of healing, and it looks like the scar isn't as bad, so hopefully I won't have this massive scar around that. But yeah, no, Aaron, Laura, it was I'm doing really good. The awesome thing about it is that they caught it before it became a huge problem. The thing was, like, I never had any symptoms of any craziness, nothing wrong, like completely normal, nothing wrong out of the ordinary for me. All of my doctors that I saw told me, like, that's pretty wild that you had no symptoms, nothing changed in your body. Samuel, you back?
I hope so.
Okay, sounding clear.
Good.
Okay,
good.
Shadow. Okay, Shadow, for you to say scars tell stories, keep it. Here's the thing: if it wasn't around my abdomen, I would be 100% okay with it, because I have a few scars, but I don't want to wear a scar that's across my belly. What if I want to? Like, I lost 40 pounds, Shadu. I want to be able to wear a bikini at the beach now. I don't want to have this massive scar on my stomach. You know what? I mean, now you're thinking about it, I probably should just keep the scar from my surgery, Samuel. That's what I'm just telling the people about my story. So if people are like, "Oh my god, what happened? Like, you have this massive scar on you." It's like, well, here's the thing, and it's actually not far from the truth, that I live in the hood, and I got into a a razor blade fight with some crack whore. I won, obviously, so I'll be like, yeah, she tried to get at me, and she just only got away with this massive gash, but I kept everything inside, walked my way to the ER, and boom, I could have. You know what? Yeah, you know what, Shadow? I could do that. I could.
Yeah, you should see the other girl.
Oh, she's not with us anymore. I can't say what happened on Facebook, but let's just say she's pushing daisies.
Yeah, that means dead. Everybody knows that means dead.
Well, yeah, we can't say that on or on YouTube. Dead in video games. YouTube, please don't cancel Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, apologies about the rough start, everybody. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not 100% sure it's the actual internet. I think my computer's actually got some problems that I need to fix at some point,
No.
which may be contributing to this sort of thing. And like I was saying, you may have noticed the lack of Larry. He'll be back next week, and we'll get to the thing discussion. Then I don't know how much of that y'all heard before I cut out the last time.
We heard it, but it's good to get repeated again.
Yeah. So tonight we didn't have a ton of things, just a couple of things I thought would be a good conversation topics. I was kind of hoping Devil would be here by now, but anywho, so Nomi, you're a bit of a nerd, right?
Yeah, nerd in my respected interests. Yes.
No, fair enough. Yeah, Shadow. That's exactly what I was saying. Do that.
Yeah.
Also, pinned at the top, there should be a link to a Cash App. Help me get better internet, I guess. So, no, I was just going to bring up. So, are you familiar with the Stargate franchise at all?
You mean the documentary that's becoming, true? But yes.
Sure.
I'm aware of Stargate.
Excuse me. So you're probably also aware that it's been in limbo since Stargate. Go.
Okay, you cut out. You said I've been aware that Stargate's been in limbo, and then you cut out.
For about 15 years now.
Yes.
Yeah. So MGM owned the rights to that, but MGM sold themselves to Amazon like 3 years ago, something like that. So Amazon holds all the rights to this. And there are people who are clamoring, obviously, for more because it's a massive franchise. But given Amazon's track record with certain popular IPs, I'm a little hesitant about this. And the reason I bring this up is because there's a channel on YouTube, and they also run their own website called Gate World, and they're very involved with like Stargate alumni and all that stuff. They do a lot of interviews and a lot of stuff like that. And they proposed a potential solution to allow things to go forward. But of course, it would obviously have to have certain things happen. Certain people needed to be involved. Certain other people need to not be involved, kind of thing. But what was kind of interesting to me, because Stargate Atlantis and Stargate Universe, both series kind of end in a place where there wasn't really any resolution to the ongoing story arcs.
Yeah.
So the proposal from Gate World was to do an anthology series. Right. And that way you could kind of tie up loose ends with an episode for Atlantis, with an episode for Universe, and that sort of thing. Do like 8 episodes and kind of tie up those things with 4 of them. And that leaves you 4 episodes to sort of experiment with new ideas, maybe new storylines, new characters, new directions, and that sort of thing, to sort of act as like a bridge between old Stargate and new Stargate. What do you think about that?
I think that Amazon doesn't know what they're doing with such a beloved IP, and they're definitely gonna mess that up, because what you just told me is like, that's stuff that I would definitely get into. Like, if I know Stargate's there, and I've seen a few episodes, a few seasons. Excuse me. But the thing is, Amazon will never go to that. They'll try to create it somehow to fit whatever their narrative is, or what the current trend is in today's pop culture, quote unquote. I don't think we'll ever be able to see what this YouTube channel is proposing for.
Yeah, I'd agree. I don't think it's going to happen either. I think they've had 3 years and they've sat on the property. They're not really interested in Stargate. They were interested in the other MGM properties, notably James Bond.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Amazon owns Bond now.
Oh my god, you're right. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
so we're gonna have a gay, black, disabled James Bond then.
Oh, didn't they already do that in the last one?
Did they?
I
know
don't know.
they-
It was somebody who
I know
took
they've done
over
that
for
for
him, I think.
they've done that for Doctor Who, but the current Doctor isn't disabled. But they definitely they not only they gender swapped, but they also race swapped them as well. So, but as far as the Bond, I made that out. That just came out of, the fart I just let out right now. I didn't think that was real.
Yeah. From what I understand, I haven't watched it myself. I'm not really a Bond fan, but I haven't watched it myself. But from what I understand, this last movie, at least as far as Daniel Craig's version of Bond goes, they killed him off and replaced him with a black woman.
Excuse me. Did they? Wow. Oof. I didn't see the last one then, because I guess I already had the mindsets like they've already politicized it, where I have no interest in watching. Oh, I might sneeze
Right.
again, but
And this came up when they were talking about it too on a lot of the bigger content channels, where they were talking about how, like, look, this wouldn't be an issue if they gave her a different designation. She doesn't have to be 007. Like if she was like,
yeah, they could totally write that
009 or
off.
whatever, that would have been different.
Yeah, 009, give her own spinoff. Like, let her have her own identity instead of 007. That's just my 2 cents. I'm also eating pecans. I'm sorry. Did we lose Sam?
No, I'm dipping in and out again. It's annoying.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was making sure.
I am attempting to make shit work, folks. Again, sorry about the quality. This might be a short episode, just so you guys are aware.
For the time being,
reason that I bring up,
I was going to say, do you want to just give me admin rights for right now, or admin privileges until the end of the show, and we can give it back to Larry? So if Devil comes back, or Devil comes and you're gone, I can help you out on that.
yeah, I can. Devil actually has those powers.
Oh, okay.
If he shows up, yeah, he's got them. He's had them for a while. But so we'll see what happens. If need be, we'll figure something out. But the reason that I bring all this stuff up, because Shadow actually mentions something up here in the chat. This was a possibility to do a faithful reboot that captures the vibe of SG1, but has different details. So that was something that had gotten brought up, not just in the article that I'm referring to, which I'm not bringing up on screen because the ads were fucking killing my bandwidth. The problem with that is that established fans aren't going to accept a reboot, and that's who you need in order to keep the franchise afloat, right? So like it just wouldn't have worked out. Plus, with Amazon's track record with reboots and remakes, and we're going to do whatever the fuck we like, as opposed to what's going to keep our fans happy. It is what it is. So I think the reboot would actually be worse than the anthology idea, but I'm not sold on if Brad Wright and Joe Malozzi aren't involved directly with creative control and writing and all that stuff, there's no point in going forward at all. So, Devil, welcome in.
What's up?
Welcome to the shit show.
Did you just wake up from a nap?
No, I'm just tired. Like I got 2 hours sleep last night. So, and then I had to work 9.5 hours today. So,
Ow.
Yeah. just pooped.
The devil is
well,
pooped.
thanks Thanks for that.
Devil poop.
Branded. Coming to a store near you.
Right. But yeah, so like Devil, you're a Stargate fan too. Have you heard anything about potential movement over at Amazon on this?
No, they were gonna reboot the show. I didn't even hear about. I heard they were gonna make a show, but it was supposed to be a prequel. But I didn't know they were gonna reboot it. What the
So
hell?
there were a couple of different things that got floated over the years back when MGM was still MGM, and then a few things since then, but they've all pretty much been rejected out of hand. And since they came from guys like Chris Judge and Brad Wright, you know, guys who knew what they were talking about. Like Chris Judge wanted to do a spin-off about the Free Jaffa, right? Which I probably would have watched, but you know, that didn't go anywhere. Brad Wright wanted to continue to at least finish off the stories of like SGU and Atlantis, because those are both like left hanging, you know. And every treatment that he's turned in, he didn't hear anything back from them. They keep rejecting him or just ignoring him or whatever over the years. So I don't think there's anything currently in the works. The reason that we're talking about it is because Gate World published an essay here yesterday, I think, talking about possibly doing an anthology series to tie up old storylines and to sort of experiment with new directions as kind of a bridge.
I would be down to see that. I wouldn't like a reboot. I don't think it needs it. When a show's beloved and shit, why do you need a reboot? Seems, you know, lame. I'm everything they when they talk about doing anything with Stargate, it's always, I don't know, I'm very skeptical. Cuz with all we have seen, you know, they're not going to appreciate it. They're not going to care. You're going to have Tilk as a, you know, if they did reboot, it would be Tilk as a transgender freaking, you know,
Sure.
Yeah, I'd rather just leave it. I've watched it how many times at this point? Obviously, we don't need a reboot. We don't need any more. Just leave it alone. Leave our IPs alone, right?
Don't touch it.
Right. I'm actually in the middle of rewatching SG1 as we speak. Just got into season 5, and you know, it's a great show. But I think you're right, and I published I put out a tweet the other day that was talking about how I think that as fans we should just be grateful for what we got and that it hasn't gotten fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of other IPs. And I figured I was in the minority in that, but judging by the responses that I've been getting for that tweet, it's not the case at all. Apparently, there's a lot of people who feel that way. So, you know, maybe just it is what it is. Richard RDA is the gold standard, but he's like 86 now and he's not coming back. So, I mean, that's
it's
he was done in season 8, dude. They made him do that season, and he was done then. So
yeah, at this age, I'm pretty sure he'd be like, yeah, I'm not gonna fucking be rolling around and shit, doing any, you know, no. If he did come back in some way, it'd be the same thing as the last couple seasons of Stargate. He'll be, you know, on every once in a while as some, you know, military figurehead and not part of the actual team or anything. So
right. Well, and if you follow the actual timeline, Sam Carter should be a general by now.
Yeah.
You know, so like she wouldn't be necessarily going on missions or anything like that. She'd be more in like, you know, Landry or Hammond's position.
Yeah. I don't know where would they go that wouldn't be like sacred ground that they were shitting on? I don't know. Like, could they do it from maybe, like you were saying, the Free Jaffa? What if they did another species that finds the Stargate just like we did and travels and, you know, has to meet up with humans and, you know, first time, I guess, maybe they could do something like that, then maybe that wouldn't be egregious. But like I said, if they touch anything from SG1, they're just going to find a way to fuck it up.
Yep.
Yeah. So Shadow says New Galaxy. Here's the thing. They've already done that a couple of times.
Stargate.
Atlantis takes place in the Pegasus Galaxy, and Universe the Destiny is a ship that's designed to hop between galaxies. They hit like 7 of them in the first season. You know, it's just kind of one of those things. Like they've kind of done that. There's not a lot they can do there. Plus, I'd be worried about getting in, because they have a habit of hiring young actors, even if they don't go for like DEI shit, which is possible, right? You still get guys who come in and they're like, oh, well, this is my sandbox. Now I can do whatever I like. And they start fucking with the lore and the rules. Like, for instance, wormholes can only, matter only goes one way through a wormhole. That's established. It's the same in all of this stuff, right? You're going to get some young pup writers like, well, what if it could go both ways, right? And start fucking with like the foundations of the series, right? And the basics of what we know of the world. And I think you end up in some weird and not good places there too. The woke crap doesn't even need to apply. You just have a bunch of bad writers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was basically kind of hitting out for earlier when you asked me this question, Sam. Is like they're just gonna hire stupid people who went to UCLA or some well-known college,
Berkeley.
got a gender studies degree, and then they want to get into writing, like screenwriting and everything. Like, you know what? Please do this because I've had this background. I've served in this club. I know this person who can vouch for me. I'm a really good writer, but have no background, no knowledge of any of these IPs. So like they think they could do it better. So that's why it's just going to be shit, because they're just hiring people like, oh, you know what? You do have a impressive background in gender study, ideology, lesbian dance theory. Let's just go ahead and have you be the head writer for Stargate.
Yeah, I've said it before. Somebody, like you said, have a degree in lesbian literature studies of the 17th century, a master's in that, and then a minor in creative writing. And since the other one can't do nothing for them, they go into writing because the only thing you can do with the lesbian literature studies of the 17th century degree is be a teacher of lesbian literature studies of the 17th century. So
that's true. We're like getting a degree in underwater dog butt sniffing, right? What good is that going to
do? How many dog butts are on the bottom of the ocean?
I suppose somebody wants to find out, but that doesn't make him a good writer, is all I'm saying.
I have a theory. There's billions of dog butts on the bottom.
Right. Well, there's dogfish.
And I will find them.
Yeah. Underwater basket weaving. Yeah. But in this case, it's dog butt sniffing.
Surprise chat. We're going to reboot Abyssal Musings, and Nomi's going to play the Eldritch God.
Yeah, that's what I've always wanted. I've worked so hard in my career to be I've worked so hard to be this person in my acting career that I started 3.5 seconds ago.
Yeah. You're just gonna want to be like, I'm gonna violate people with my tentacles. Ooh.
Booga booga.
Sam's all like, I am not amused. There you go.
I have been relegated to the background like a good white man. Mostly white. Oh yeah, it's one of those things. Like I'm not certain that any future ground there's. I mean, 17 seasons of fucking television, not including the abysmal cartoon or the 2 different web series or the 2 movies that were made after SG1, right? They've already tread a lot of ground. There's not, there's not a lot of places they can go creatively at this point without either stepping on some toes or just kind of throwing old stuff out the window. So I mean, even just from that alone, it probably wouldn't be a good idea to try and move forward with it. I mean, like, as a fan, I very much would like to see if Atlantis manages to stave off the impending Wraith invasion of Earth, right? That we never got, or what the hell happened to Eli Wallace? I'd love to find those things out, but I don't think we're ever going to get that.
I mean, yeah, like I said, it's not that I don't think it can be done. Somebody who appreciates it, somebody who really cares, but just like Picard season 3, somebody who really cares about the lore and the canon of the story and all that stuff could do something great, right? I have enough of a I'm good with stories. I'm good with ideas real quick. I could come up with something that might be decent, but I wouldn't, do I trust anyone else to do the same, to come up with a good idea and follow through with it that, like I said, is respectful? No, I just don't. Like I said, there's avenues. I don't appreciate, you know, anybody doing it, I guess.
Right. Well, and there's also what was brought up was that there are also potential rights issues as far as character creation goes, right? Because SG-1 was created by Brad Wright, and I'm trying to remember the other guy's name. Anyway, the other guy left the show after like 2 seasons, right? So there were characters created after that by Brad Wright and Bob Cooper, and so on. But there's like, is one of the reasons that they only used Jack and Daniel in the pilot for Atlantis was because if they used all 4, then they would have to worry about paying a guy who was no longer with the Stargate shows for character creation kind of thing. So they'd have to worry about possibly navigating all of that, because while the overall IP is owned by Amazon's, I forget what they call it, MGM Prime or whatever the fuck, but some of those character creation rights are still retained by the guys who did it because it was in their contracts.
If and like I said, I'd rather just have them stay the hell away from it, but if they were going to do something, I'd much rather have them do something that is completely offshoot and nothing to do with the original stories or Atlantis. And there's so many side character ideas that they could like have one of what was that bounty hunter that was addicted to the drug?
Oh yeah. The one who was played by Flash Gordon.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember the name of the character off the top of my head, but yeah, him or something to do with like what's left of his people after the gold, enslaved them, kind of thing, would be interesting.
like do like almost like a rogue ship. You're gonna hate me because my brain is just completely farting. The gold who aren't gold. What's their name? Tok'ra. God damn it, I could not remember for the life of me. Let's say a Tok'ra agent or somebody, jumps to a Stargate trying to catch some criminal or something, gets stranded like Atlantis, way out there in the middle of nowhere, and has to bring a rogue group of different, species and different shit together to try to make it back, right? You could do almost like a I know they've had a show like that, but type idea is, all different characters, all different issues with each one of them. One of them could be one of those bounty hunters that's addicted to drugs. One of them, like I said, you have the Tok'ra. You can find a Nox or something who just couldn't, fit in because they didn't believe in the whole I'm not going to defend myself, I'm a hippie piece of shit ideas. And, like just all these kind of rogue, this gallery of weirdness, and they find a, shitty ship and are starting to head back to our galaxy. And you could get a couple seasons out of that, no problem. But like I said, stay away from all the stuff we had in the other shows. Just no Atlantis. Don't need to address that. Don't need to address the SGC. Don't need to, just keep that as something separate. Then maybe I would give it a chance, but we'll see. Are you still there, Sam? Yeah, he's my.
Yeah,
we
sorry
lost
about
him.
that.
Oh no, he didn't. Dang it.
Yeah.
Were you hoping I was gone?
Well, I was gonna be like, I'm the new Eldritch God here. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, she's all I'm taking over, man. She's always a joke before, but now it's happening.
Oh, now it's coming to fruition.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to fight JV for top spot when he, pulls a Game of Thrones on Larry.
Who the hell is JB?
Joker voice.
Oh, JV. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm not afraid. I think I'm taller than JV. So
I think Nomi could take him easy.
if I can kick Dermy's ass, I can kick JV's ass.
To be fair, Dermy's kind of like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It's not that difficult.
What are you talking about? He's tall. It's real hard to get a shot at that.
I will say I didn't expect him to be tall when I met him.
And Nomi's tall. Nomi's not by any means short, but Dermy's a fucking giant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And so is Static. Static and his brother. Holy shit! I was not expecting them to be that tall.
Yeah. All there's a lot of people in the group that are just ridiculously high.
Yeah. And he's not talking about height, guys. Ha ha ha.
Right?
I'm average. I'm an odd man out. I'm not used to being the tiny friend. But yeah, everyone in the group is massive.
Yeah.
There's a few of us who are really, really tall, and there's a few who are really, really short, but there's a few who are in between. Here and there.
When I met Moss from Moonskull, I honestly didn't know who he was until I met him. And then when we got to know each other for working together on things, he's like, I'll be honest, I was very intimidated when I met you. I'm like, why? He's like, you were a freaking giant and I was this tiny ant. And Moss is actually a tiny guy. But to me, when I met him, I was like, well, because I was wearing 5-inch platforms. I didn't think you were that tall. So, but yeah, because everybody looked like ants to me when I wore those boots. And then I fell down a flight of stairs.
Fell down.
I'm actually Zillage. I am 6'5".
Yeah, he is. We are with the tall people here. All right, and then bye, Shadow. Have a good night. Or maybe I just think I didn't read that right. Whatever. But yeah, Stargate.
She's trying to get away from the fact that Tabitha pushed her down the stairs. Still
allegedly. Oh, I think Sam's gone because Lillage's comment's still here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
oh. Well, you gotta say something. You just can't go radio is silent when we're talking, and then
I couldn't hear you guys. I was out. It had phased me out. I was trying to fix it, so I came back in. I came right in as you were saying, I think Sam's gone. I was I was, yeah.
Yeah, Aaron, Laura, I'm 5'9", so I'm just a little taller than you.
Yeah.
So I'm like 6'1".
Really? Wow.
Yeah, Devil's met me. I'm pretty tall.
Yeah.
Well, I knew you were tall. I just didn't think you were over 6 feet.
Yeah, she walked up to me and patted me on the head like that.
I was like, who's a cute little puppy? Devil's a cute little puppy. Yes, you are.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that, Lepo, because when she was talking about Static, so Static is 6'7" or 6'8", somewhere in there, and his brother's like an inch or two taller than that.
Yeah, Steve is freaking really, really tall. Steve's damn near 7 foot.
Yeah, no, so I would label Steve 7 feet. He is fucking tall.
He is. It's ridiculous.
So yeah, no, Static is 2 inches taller than I am, and his brother is taller than he is. So I'm 6'5". I'm not small.
Yeah, when I lose enough weight, I'm gonna start riding around on Steve's back like Master Blaster from Thunderdome.
Dude, I just rewatched that movie. the bit where Blaster's helmet comes off and you realize he's got Down syndrome.
He's Dermy. I should do that. I should freaking face swap Dermy onto Blaster's face.
Right.
And I'll switch Nomi's face on Mad Max so it looks like she beat the shit out of Dermy. Big giant ass.
I'm not sure, Zilich. I'm not, but to contrast that, we have some very very short people too, because Gal's like 2 feet tall, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
gals like poof.
yeah.
tiny
Gals
but
was
fierce is not a misnomer. That's not a euphemism. She's actually very 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 small.
I
Yeah,
also met Tiny. Um yeah, both Gal and Tiny are the size of my pinkies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gal looks up to Peter Dinklage. That's just
Yeah.
she's itty bitty bitty. In fact, the song for like when she calls, because I every once in a while I'll like find a ringtone that just matches somebody and I'll put it on there. So I put for her. God, I can't remember the country singer's song, but the song essentially goes, "It's okay to be itty bitty." I was all like, okay, it fits. It fits. I
It's
have to
all
use it.
right to be an itty bitty.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
old
Right.
city.
Yeah. I don't
I
think
was all,
Larry's that tall. I think he's pretty average height. He's like 5'8", I think, somewhere in there. Maybe 5'9", I think, somewhere in there. But yeah, he's not super tall. He's not short by any means either. He's just kind of right there in the middle. So he just looks short to me because everybody looks short to me except Steve and Static.
got a basketball team.
Yeah.
It's an underdog story. All these 40-year-old men playing basketball, and I'll be the coach.
Dude, we could totally do it if it weren't for the fact that all of us are lazy dudes who sit behind computers all the time.
Yeah,
I know. Just imagine us being all active and fit. God knew that we would be too powerful, so that's why he gave us laziness.
it'll be a true underdog story. This will be.
A
Yes.
song for underdog, somewhere in the background. A flag flying for losers, somewhere in the heavens. The God of everlasting
Okay,
Oh,
here's-
we're
comfort.
gonna keep going. Okay.
Here's the pitch. Here's the pitch, guys. Dermy and his dermaids is killing him. We
Dermaids?
have, yeah, you haven't heard of dermaids?
No.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
want
that's what happens when you let Dermy,
touch you. Yeah, you don't come too close to him. Anyway,
I started his fucking face. That was as close as I can get.
might be
You
affected.
probably have dermates then.
Maybe that's how I got the tumor in the first place.
It's very possible. The symptoms of dermaids vary in a large swath. So Dermy has dermaids. He's dying. We have to get the money to save that bastard because for some reason we want to. I don't know why. That's the kind of plot hole. We all have to. The way we can get the money is by competing in the all-state basketball amateur competition, and I have to get all my YouTube friends that are like giants to play to save Dermy's ass. Boom. Hit movie.
I mean, it's a little too late to save his ass.
That's
truck
very
stop
true.
saw that.
That's very true. Did you see the thumbnail I made from? Oh no, I didn't put the thumbnail out there. Damn it! I put a thumbnail where he. It was supposed to be Jessica Lindstrom, whatever her name is. Yeah, she was gonna be on, and she loves to bake, just like Nomi. She likes to bake. Yeah, she was on your stream. She jumped in the chat on your stream.
Yeah.
And so I was all okay. What I have to do something with baking, so I essentially made her pissed off that this big chunk was taken out of a cake that she made, and so Dermy had all this white frosting splattered on his face, and I had Static say, "Well, that could be anything really with Dermy. It doesn't necessarily have to be frosting." But then she didn't show up, so he took it down because he's a beach.
Yeah, it is what it is. So we give a lot of shit to Dermy online, but he's a good dude. He runs a pretty fun channel. But I will warn y'all though, like Aaron Laura specifically, if you think we're degenerates, you haven't seen anything yet.
You never
It's
hung out with Dermy.
so much worse over there.
Yes. Ballbusters, like, he shows the clip a ton, but literally the very first episode of Ballbusters, somebody brought up the human centipede, and he decided how many dudes would it take to make a gay centipede. if dudes were butt fucking each other in a circle, how many would it take to make the circle? And we actually had to have a discussion on the fucking thing. It was
I
ridiculous.
think he fundamentally misunderstood the concept of the human centipede because that's just a gay orgy.
Yeah, exactly. And only Dermy would be interested in going into depth on it. Like I was sitting there after he said it, I was all, okay, we can totally change the subject. We don't need to discuss this any further. And Dermy's all, no, we need to. I need to know. I'm all, why?
Yeah. It's just a bunch of dudes in a circle engaging in like degenerate activities at that point, right? For it to be a real gay human centipede, they don't even need to be sexually, involved at all. You just need to do to a bunch of gay dudes what happened to the poor sons of bitches in that movie. Right? that's it. And as far as like how many would you need to make a gay human centipede? 3. That's it. 3 people. You could use more, right? They did that in the second and the third movies, but you don't need more than that. That's it. That movie was in fact a shit show. Yes, it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. Just ugh.
Dermy's a weirdo.
Yeah,
he's a degenerate.
Didn't know that was concept yet. So, like Devil was saying, that was the very first episode of Ballbusters, and it was it's just been downhill ever since.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine that being your peak.
Yeah, that's where you start. That's like the baseline.
Everything's downhill after that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, like even Lepo, like even if you could still make a circular, I don't know, Ouroboros or whatever. I wouldn't even call it a centipede at that point. It's like a snake eating its own tail. But you could still do that with 3 people. You just might have to sacrifice a little spinal integrity for it.
A normal centipede or the gay centipede?
I mean, if you're doing it out of gay dudes, yeah, you just sew one asshole to the next, to the next, to the next. But you can do it with 3 people, make a circle. You don't need, that many of them. But depending on how flexible they are, you might have to break a few vertebrae to get that to bend right. I'm going to probably stop talking about that now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you trying to do? Make this into Ballbusters?
No, I'm not. It's just, you know how it is. Sometimes you get on a topic and you just keep going, and then you realize, yeah, I should have stopped a while ago.
Yeah, like arguing with British people about burgers and sandwiches.
Holy shit, I'm so tired of that fight.
I have never heard of it. Please enlighten me, Devil. What is this? What you speak of?
All right,
I'm not allowed.
It's really simple. It's really simple, Nomi.
No, don't make it simple. Give me the long, explained details.
We'll get there, but I have to ask you a very simple question first. If you take a chicken breast, right?
Okay.
It could be fried, it could be grilled, it could be broiled, doesn't fucking matter, right? And you slice and you put it between 2 slices of bread, whether they be bun shaped or sliced, doesn't matter, right? Bread's bread.
Yeah.
Is that a burger or is that a chicken sandwich?
That's a chicken sandwich.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, the chicken sandwich.
Apparently, the Aussies and the Brits call that a burger because it's a piece of meat between 2 buns. And it's like, no, it's like you call it hamburger. But that's just the name for it because it's specially shaped bread, but it's just bread.
Yeah. And ever since then, it's been like Thunderdome. We have somehow it keeps getting brought up, and we fight about it every time. I've sent death threats to people because of this fucking argument.
Oh, I know how it keeps getting brought up. It keeps getting brought up because Abe likes to see people tear at each other's throats over this shit.
Yeah, he does it to just. Goddamn.
It's Abe.
Oh no, Sam.
Yeah. See, yeah. Even the Canadians know it's a sandwich.
Yeah. No, I would call it a burger if you put the chicken breast through a grinder, and it's like ground. It's like ground chicken, like how you make ground beef.
Yeah.
So if it's ground chicken and you make it into a chicken patty, then that's a chicken burger. Like how Yeah, if
Sure.
you have like
I mean-
a steak sandwich, those are steak slices. It's not a burger because
Yeah.
it's steak.
They believe that anything on a burger bun is thereby a burger. So you could take spinach, freaking blueberries, and a mushroom and stick it on a burger bun, and it's become a mushroom blueberry spinach burger. They're freaking retarded about it. That's why we've got to go over there and conquer them.
Right? Teach them the right way to address the sandwich.
Yeah. We'll strap them all down to chairs and sit there and go, "What is this? What is
I
it?"
swear, if there's one thing that's going to actually start World War III, it's the fact that the Brits and the Aussies are wrong about this and won't admit it.
And I'm down, dude. Give me my gun. Give me my helmet.
Yeah.
It's time for blood.
See, and like, so Shadu, who left the chat because he went to bed because, you know, he's a little kid, he
Yeah.
made a thing a couple of weeks ago that I would call a chicken burger. It's essentially a burger patty between two pieces of deep fried chicken or air fried chicken. Right? That I would call a chicken burger because
Yeah.
it's a burger in between chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not against other things being called a burger besides a beef patty between buns. It's like you said, it has to be a something ground made into a patty. Then you can qualify it as a burger, but the bread doesn't qualify it as the burger, and that's kind of the gist of the whole thing. Is the burger bun does not make anything a burger. You put
Right.
PB&J between a burger bun, it's not a PB&J burger. It's a freaking PB&J sandwich just on a particular type of bread. It's just stupid.
Well, and here's the thing: is so the guy who gets credit for creating the hamburger is a dude who was from Hamburg, Germany. It's named after that. It's got nothing to do with ham. It's got to do with the city of the dude that is credited for creating this. And like what he did was essentially take something that already existed and make it better, you know, grilling it or whatever. But the actual meat patty comes from ancient Mongolia originally.
Yeah, where they stuck
used
it
all
underneath their
kinds of-
saddles. Yeah, they took the ground meat, rolled it up, put it underneath the saddle, and the pressure and the heat would semi-cook it over their long ride. So then they would take the
Right.
saddle
Well,
off, pull the patty off that
yeah,
whatever
and a
animal
lot
they're
of the
riding
times,
as.
a lot of times it was already at least partially cooked because it would come from. So they'd kill a thing, they'd chop it into meat, and then they'd sort of boil it using their helms as a pot. And once they boiled all the water off, they'd sort of scrape all of the residue or the meat from the inside of the helmet, and then they'd form the patty and stick it up under the saddles and that kind of thing. Because yeah, I mean, you gotta ground it somehow without, you know, having a meat grinder, I suppose, in your saddlebags. But yeah, you know, it's a patty. It's not a slice or a slab of meat. It doesn't really even matter what the animal is, although I would argue some animals you really couldn't do that with anyway. Like chicken is one of those things where you have to add other things to it in order to get it to hold its shape, because otherwise it'll just fall the fuck apart and it's more or less a sloppy Joe with chicken meat.
The problem is both chicken and turkey, when you make them into burgers, they're very dry. It's too lean of a meat. You have to add something to add moisture to it. It's just otherwise you're gonna have the driest burgers.
Like
I've had a
egg whites or
couple.
something.
Yeah, I've had a couple good chicken burgers, but for the most part, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. Give me a beef.
Cavateno.
Like chicken is the burger because the meat is mechanically separated, seasoned, then dipped in batter to be fried long enough to be crispy. Is it even really chicken? You can't even call it a chicken.
Yeah, that mechanically separated. A lot of that is lab grown. It was never really part of a bird in the first place. I mean,
a lot of it might not be chicken. They call it a McChicken. It's more fillers and probably cartilage and everything else ground into a paste.
Styrofoam.
Not really
chicken
a
asshole
patty. It's construed junk.
You know, Pedro's finger when he was working the meat slicer. You know.
Yeah. Couple bugs, couple rats.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I don't know that I would call any of the chicken from McDonald's
You know what? You know
chicken.
what I'll. You know what I'll do. You know what I'll do. This just inspired me. I'll make my own real McChicken sandwich. I'll grind the meat myself. I'll put it into a patty. I'll get some burger buns, and then I'll make like healthy French fries of like what McChicken dreams it could be. So I can do that on my next cooking stream.
Call it a McNomi. McNomi.
Oh, that sounds tasty.
So
McGnomes.
Zillage said he tried to make a shrimp burger and that was a mistake. I gotta be honest, dude. There's half of me that's actually really curious about a shrimp burger now, but the
Those
other
are
half is
good.
kind of gagging in the back of my mouth.
That's like a popular item in Mexico. Like my
Is it?
yeah, my mom grew up on that type of stuff. You would just like get the little shrimp meats, just same thing as you do with any ground meat. Just form it
You would
into a patty. Yeah.
definitely need a binder with that. Do they put like like the stuff that masa or whatever, that is that in there at all? Like, or do they use flour? Do they use breadcrumbs? What do they do to bind them chunks of shrimp together?
Oh, I don't know. I just know my mom grew up eating it, and I remember when I was in Mexico super recently, they had it on the menu, so I wouldn't know what the binder would be, but I would assume egg.
Well, yeah, you have to have egg because you have to put some moisture that will bind with whatever you know you have in there, whether it's oats, whether it's like I said, some sort of
Well, I know that you
different
can.
flour.
I know you can dehydrate the shrimp, and you can turn it into a powder. So I'm thinking that might be it.
Maybe.
Because I know I can tomorrow morning what I can do, because there's a little grocery store that's not that far from me, and it's a pure Mexican, only speaking Spanish type of grocery store, and they sell the grinded shrimp stuff in bags. So I'm pretty sure that's the binder, is just shrimp on shrimp. Yeah,
It's
but
interesting.
but I remember it being tasty when my friend ordered it. I didn't take a bite because I had other things. I had a blackened shrimp, so I was shrimped out.
I like blackened seasoning, but I don't like it necessarily on fish because I just don't eat that much fish. But I put it on pizza. I make this pizza. It's okay. I was fucking with the girls at the restaurant, and
See ya,
we
Sam.
lost them. Yeah, put Nomi in the position of power.
Ha ha ha. So
But
you must have got the girls.
yeah, so I'm all like, they told me make a pizza for the bar, do it all the time. I'm gonna be a little more creative with it. So I made like a meat lovers pizza,
Ooh.
and then I put blackened seasoning all over it, like shook it over the top, baked it, then added barbecue sauce drizzle at the last little bit. And they're all, what are you gonna call it? Is it meat lovers barbecue? I was all like, no, I'm gonna call it a hot dude. And they're all, why would you call it a hot dude? And I'm all like, because then you girls, when you want a piece of pizza, you can go up to one of the other waitresses and go, there's a hot dude at the bar. And people will just think you're promiscuous and not chubsters. They got pissed off at me. They're all, fuck you.
Screw you, devil.
Yeah, screw you, devil.
He hears it a lot. Hey, Carrie, good to see you, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I certain things I'm experimental with, but certain things I'm not. And I also am not going to call a thing that it isn't, like chicken sandwich. There's no such thing as or a chicken burger. There's no such thing as a chicken burger. Not really. You can make a facsimile of a burger, but it's not going to hold up real well. And also I'm not taking any advice on what to call food from the Brits, who traveled the world for all the spices and use any of them, at least not until they got some of their more curry friendly residents recently. And B, I'm not taking it from a prison colony who lost a fight to giant flightless birds.
Yeah.
That's simple.
These are both very valid reasons to dismiss both Great Britain and Australia.
Yeah. So it is what it is, you know. And I don't know. It's just one of those things that actually there's going to come a point where if Abe brings this up and tries to start a fight again, I am going to scream at him. I'm going to do it. Be like, stop it! Stop fucking bringing it up. You know, you call it what you like. You're wrong, but you can call it what you like.
Exactly. And he's not Abe, he's Abby. Damn it.
Yeah.
He's trying to fight against it. A guy, he needs to stop. It's his lore. I'm sorry. When something goes on your lore, go with it. Just go with it. It means people are fucking, actually invested in your fucking kind of YouTube story and your alternate ego or whatever you want to call it. Don't fight against it. Just go with it. You're fucking Abby, dude. You're Abby. You're nothing. You're never gonna be anything different.
You know what this sounds like? It's like if you just relax, it'll be over soon.
Yeah. Don't
quit
bear down.
quit
Just let it
fighting.
happen.
Yeah. Don't bear down. Just take it.
Exile as it goes in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. It's not good. But it sounds like yeah, it does sound like that. It sounds like you're saying like, look, dude, I know this is unpleasant. I know you might not enjoy every minute of it, but it's happening one way or the other. So you might as well just relax and ride it out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like when everyone thought I was black. I went with it for like a month and a half, 2 months. I said I was black.
I can hear it. I can hear your voice. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm yawning.
Black? Yeah. Okay. I didn't think I sounded black, but okay.
Say, oh,
no.
Lordy.
Oh lordy.
Oh
You're country to me. But no, like you just go with it. I mean, yeah, my credit score dipped. I freaking couldn't get a loan, but I went with it. You just play the, cards you're handed.
Yeah, it is what it is. We all have our own lore, and it happens whether you want it to or not. It's when people try to force their lore. They're just like, oh yeah, I want this to be my. That's not how it works, dude. You don't get to decide what your lore is. Just like you don't get to decide how people describe you or any of that nonsense. That's all from other sources. It's not from you. You get what you get, and as my ex-wife said to my kids for years, and you don't pitch a fit.
Yeah, I mean the quintessential YouTuber lore person is like we were talking about Dermy. The lore around Dermy is deep, right? He's works at a truck stop sucking dick through a glory hole. We made a joke about it, and now he can't get away from that. It's never going to go away. He's always going to be blowing people at a truck stop. It's so much so that he put it in his opening for Ballbusters. It literally is a song about him working at a truck stop. Mm-hmm. He made a video when he went to one of the cons where he's walking around with his freaking gimbal filming shit, and a girl in a bunny outfit approached him. And she's all, hey, what are you up to? And he goes, I'm a YouTuber. I'm filming stuff. And she's all, you're a YouTuber. And she sounded so interested. And he turned away and like literally took off. And so now we joke that he's deathly scared of girls in bunny outfits. It's just.
Mm-hmm.
So now I know his kryptonite.
Yes, Nomi, you should definitely put on a bunny outfit. Definitely.
To Dermy's credit, he rolls with this shit better than a lot of YouTubers do.
Oh, so, absolutely.
He will just kind of roll with it and lean into it and all that. And actually, that helps with the whole lore building. If you it's the number one rule, I think, on the internet. Well, maybe not the number one rule, but it's certainly up there. Is don't let them know it bothers you. Right. Yeah, if you let them know something bothers you, it's definitely coming up again and frequently.
Absolutely. It's steering to the skid. Yeah. We've been having problems with that as of late though, because sometimes shit just gets too old and dumb. But
Right.
yes, most of the time, just steer into the skid. Like I said, if they make a joke about you, just play into it and let it become part of your story. So yeah, you're Abby if you're out there.
It's too bad Amir isn't here to hear the story. Amir would throw Dermy the most upscale roof party. It's like high end drinks, high floor.
Well, surprise on her Dermy's bounce.
It's because he's so fat. Yeah. No, we give him a lot of shit though, but he's a good sport about a lot of really terrible fucking things. So it is what it is. That's also part of his lore, is the fact that he can take the abuse.
Yeah. For all of our giving him shit and stuff like that, I've said it a billion times at this point. Dermy's like my little brother. I can insult him, I can give him shit, we all can, but he's our little buddy, and well, not little by any means. But we wouldn't let anyone else do it, So
biological women dressed as Playboy bunnies excite me. Yeah, I can see that.
This should excite every male.
I mean, I'm not really into rabbits, so it is what it is, I guess. But I'm not going to run from them, like
yeah,
on camera.
Yeah. I'm sorry if a bunny girl shows even the tiniest bit of interest in what I'm doing. She has all my attention. Like, like everything else just fades out, and I'm like, it's just me and the bunny girl. Dermy, he's crying, running away, screaming.
Old Blindy says, like the porn star in Brazil fell from balcony. I have not heard about that. I did hear that there was like the lead singer of One Direction fell off a balcony in South America and died.
Allegedly. And then allegedly he was pushed off. I've been following this story since the moment it happened. I was with Lily when it happened. We were together enjoying PF Chang's and we got the news. So we definitely believe it was him being thrown. Allegedly.
I'll be honest, Nomi, I didn't even know what his fucking name was until he died.
Liam? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
who cares? They're like,
yeah, well,
the whole girls that grew up on One Direction cares, devil.
They're like the retarded fucking Backstreet Boys of Britain, who like lame.
They light up the
they light up the room like no one else.
Carrie's asking if Dermy's actually gay. We fucking with him. I think he's actually bisexual, but we've been calling him gay since long before he ever came out and said anything about it. So.
He likes femboys. I don't think he's ever done any gay shit, but he is attracted to feminine, girly boy dudes. And so that's
looking girls.
Yeah, so that's why we call him gay. Because he should have never told us that. He could have kept that to himself.
No, well, it was funny because he's one of those like unlike a lot of people, I don't actually care that Dermy's gay or
none of us do.
Dudes and chicks like that he was so worried about everybody changing their opinion of him, and he was like, I don't know if I should tell anybody this. And when he did, we're all just like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, we're gonna tease you about it.
You gay,
yeah,
but we don't care. Not really.
Yeah. We're not gonna not beat you over the head with it, but no, if he found himself a nice boy and settled down, I'd be very happy for him.
I mean, okay. I still probably wouldn't care. It's like, I guess, he'll be doing some butt fucking, but that's nothing that I need to know anything further about. So
yeah, well, the second he does it, he commits a sin, and then he's definitely going to hell. So it's kind of my business.
Where there will be more butt fucking, but non-consensual.
Only in one of the rings. The rest are completely stray.
You honestly think he's going to go to any of the straight rings?
Yeah, he gets down there. He's all, they'll take me down to the butt rape ring.
Right. That's not gonna happen. He's he'll probably show up and they'll be like big fans and take him wherever he wants to go. He's like, hey, I want to go over there, and they'd be like, all right, sir, right this way, VIP pass.
He's all first, yeah, pass through the bunny girl ring. He's so damn it. Of course, my
He'd be
arch
like,
nemesis.
why are you making me do this? This is hell, sir.
Just plug in his ears. La, 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 la.
Yeah. Yeah, so we did go from food to this. So like I said, I had a couple of tiny things to discuss. Larry had planned to be here, but like I said, he had some stuff come up IRL that needed his attention, so it was kind of short notice. But it is what it is. Like, he'll be back next week and we'll get into the thing there. And I do believe we're gonna attempt,
Was he caught driving black again?
No, but he is in Detroit.
Happens to him so often.
But no, we will be getting into the thing discussion, and I think if we have time, we're going to try and squeeze in the next part of Monsters Ball. But that sort of depends on how long we go with the discussion about the thing, and then also the prequel that came out. So he saw that recently. He's not very happy about that, so it'll be fun to talk about. All that, but yeah, Bill and Ted in Hell, Bogus Journey. Oh yeah, Bogus Journey was a great fucking movie. It's weird. It's a weird movie. It's kind of batshit insane, but it's a great movie.
It is. Yeah, I like both the Bill and Teds.
I like how you said both. Look, the first time I saw it, I didn't really have an issue with Ted Face the music, because I wasn't thinking too deeply into things. I was just happy to have like Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves on screen together again, right? Like you would be. The second, third, fourth, and fifth times I saw it, because I did watch it a few times, the less I liked it. Each time I saw it, the less I liked it. It's kind of a mess in a lot of ways. It completely retcons, everything that's happened, at the end of 2. And it sort of cuts the balls off our heroes and gives them to their kids.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's exactly what they intended. It's the reason they changed them from boys to girls, their daughters instead of their sons, even though they were sons. They said, this is our sons. They also, like you said, essentially retcons the fact that by the end of the thing, they go through an intense thing to become rock legends so that they can be what they are supposed to be, which is the leaders of the future because of their, message. Totally revokes that. It just, like I said, it's what we're worried about with the Stargate thing, is no respect for the lore, no respect for the story, no respect for the fans.
Yeah, which is a shame, because I was really looking forward to that movie. And like I said, I did enjoy it the first time. I also enjoyed Jay and Silent Bob Reboot the first time. But again, on further rewatches, it's a horrendous piece of shit. So that was really what took the shine off of Kevin Smith for me, because I wasn't really paying too much attention to all the bullshit he was saying out in the real world. I didn't care much about that. I just liked his movies, and he hadn't made a new movie in some time that I'd cared to watch. Like, I didn't really get into his horror forays. Like, Tusk is something that I'm not that interested in, for instance. Red State was an interesting movie, but it was not like his typical stuff. And so like the in-between stuff. Oh, I did see Yoga Hosers. That was a complete fucking waste of time.
Everything was downhill after Chasing Amy. Like, except for maybe Clerks 2. I really did like Clerks 2. It was a departure from the original, obviously, like the way, but it was still funny. Yeah. I still liked some of the humor.
I don't know. It's like I was a Kevin Smith fan when I was younger. I loved Clerks, but I didn't see Clerks first. I saw Mallrats first.
Right? Me too.
Which is what opened up that world to me. I didn't see Clerks till later.
Robot Sam.
And then Chasing me.
Should we tell him?
You're really roboting. We're hearing every like fifth word.
I can hear you. Okay,
Yeah.
it should be better now.
I like that you were super passionate telling
So.
us the story with such, love for it, and then you just sound like a robot.
Yeah.
I like.
Anyway, I just. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I saw Mallrats first, then Chasing Amy, then Clerks. So I saw them completely out of order.
Yeah. And then you get movies like Dogma, which are actually really hard to find if you don't have an extant copy. I do. I have a copy of it on VHS, but it's never been on DVD. It's never been on Blu-ray. It's never been on any of that stuff because the frankly, Harvey Weinstein's company owns it. And it's not going anywhere. But there are rights issues with that, and it's a whole thing. But I liked that movie too quite a bit. I liked, especially because that came out when I was still at a place where I was very angry at religion, and it was right up my alley. But and then Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is still one of the funniest fucking stupid stoner comedies I've ever seen in my life. I love that movie to this day.
It's okay. Like I said, there's funny parts of some of his movies, but I think it was all downhill after Chasing Amy, especially with Dogma. So inaccurate. My dad is not freaking a singer who has no concept of what ironic is.
Yeah, let alone Canadian.
Yeah. He's a dick, but he's not her.
Yeah. He's more like the guy who was in the coma the whole movie.
Yeah.
Till they pulled the plug. Yeah. That was a weird movie, man, but it was fun. I enjoyed the shit out of it. I particularly like Chris Rock's character, a bit where he shows up and like, you knew Jesus Christ. It's like, shit. Negro owes me $12.
Can I buy your jacket? He's like, dude, his dick's gonna be rolling around your armor, bro.
Or the bit where they first meet Bethany outside the abortion clinic she works at, and they're just like, "What are you doing hanging outside of an abortion clinic?" He's like, "We figured what better place to pick up loose chicks."
Sound logic.
I mean, to be honest, like I know that Kevin Smith himself and like his ilk are kind of like pro that sort of thing, but that really comes out. That joke comes off as an indictment of that whole industry, and it's glorious.
Well, that's why everyone liked Kevin Smith originally, because we didn't know what he was politically. He was just willing to joke about everything and have fun, and so that's what made those first couple movies really enjoyable. There was no political stand to him at all. And then he had to go and get Hollywooded. He went from being a dude who just liked movies and liked nerd stuff and wanted to entertain people and make stuff that he would laugh at. And then he's all like, I want to be with the Hollywood crowd. I want to make them my buddies. And the only way I can do that is by stop being this independent kind of entity that everyone likes and instead toe the company line and put all this woke shit in every movie I make, no matter what it is. And, go on the internet and tell everyone they're stupid if they don't agree with me. And unfortunately, now, like I said, I everything he comes out with just flops. He's killed his career, essentially.
Well, that was the thing. Like you said, he wanted to be in the club, and when he got in the club, right, suddenly he was one of them and not one of us anymore.
Yeah, like
literally. I don't think he's ever truly been one of them either. Not really. He got in the club and he's like bottom rung, bottom of the totem pole, and that's where he's going to stay because he's not really one of them.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch The Pub, he had a show with his friends that he did essentially, where what was it called? Comic Book Men or something, where it was
Yeah.
his comic book store in New Jersey with
Yeah, I used to
his
watch it.
friends. Yeah, it was a great show because it's exactly what I wanted for the pub. A group of friends sitting there asking stupid questions and having a discussion on it. Who's the most hottest chick in the X-Men? You know, like nerdy shit that you can have a 4-hour discussion on sometimes. That's what I wanted the pub to be. You know, a bar
Yeah.
version of that, group of friends sitting there asking stupid questions and talking about it for hours. Great show. But like I said, it's if he just stuck to that kind of idea, it would be great. But
Yeah, that would have been good. But that was at a different point, like you were saying. He became a different person. I think obviously he started like changing shit up and in the way he wrote stuff and all that for a long time. But I think honestly that heart attack he had killed the old Kevin Smith. I think it actually did.
yeah, I think it broke him.
Yeah.
Hey,
Not
Amira.
to mention he could use his excess skin now as a paraglider. Hi, Amira. Welcome in.
But yeah, it's so yeah, but that was gonna happen no matter what because that's what Hollywood does. It's just like when you go to Washington and you're I'm gonna do right by my constituents. I'm gonna be a good person, and it takes 1 year for them to corrupt you, destroy you, and turn you into them. Same thing with Hollywood. They can take somebody who is has values and things for themselves, and they go there and a couple parties later, couple you know uh, Diddy parties, and they're just as corrupt and disgusting and slime
Look,
balls.
that's the other thing is like both Kevin Smith and Quentin Tarantino and a few other maverick directors of the day, right? They came up under the Weinstein Company, right? They were referred to by a lot of people inside and outside of that company as Weinstein's boys, right? And
Yeah.
every one of them acted like they didn't have any fucking idea what was going on back there. And I don't believe that. I don't believe they didn't know. They maybe weren't directly complicit in it, but that I don't think none of those guys are stupid men, right?
But what was really going on? It was just closed nose. It was
Well,
girls making decisions to better their career, to forward their career.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Like Gwyneth Paltrow trying to play the victim. He said,
It's not,
yeah, get naked and I'll put you in a movie that will get you an Academy Award. And she said, okay, dropped her doors. That's a choice.
It wasn't a bunch of women being tied up and gagged and forced to, that's not what it was. It was women making choices.
Unless you believe Rose McGowan, because she did say that he literally, raped her. But yeah, for the most part, those actresses sold their ass for a career. And that's fine with me. I don't hold that against people, dude. If some exec woman said, drop your drawers and I'll make you rich and powerful, I'd be like, okay. I'm not saying I wouldn't do the same thing.
That's the thing is that look, Harvey Weinstein is still a gigantic piece of shit.
Oh, absolutely.
What he was actually doing was essentially being a John. He was paying them for sexual services.
Yeah.
Right. That's just prostitution. That's not worth 30 years in prison.
Yeah. If you sell your ass for fame and fortune, just accept it. Say, hey, I'm an adult. I made my choice. It's not his fault. He offered type thing and go about it. But yeah, second, one of them accused him of rape. All the other ones were all, I'm a victim too. I'm a victim too. You're not a victim.
Yeah. Now, and I'm not saying he never did rape anybody. Maybe he did. Like Carrie's saying, he was convicted of some measure of that. So I don't know. Maybe he actually did. Maybe Rose McGowan was telling the truth. I don't know. I don't think any of us are ever going to really know what happened. But and like I said, that doesn't make him not a piece of shit. It just makes them complicit for the most part. And also coming from Gwyneth Paltrow, who sells fucking like candles that smell like her nasty vagina, right? I don't want to hear it.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh,
Yeah,
she has a whole line of things like that. Yeah.
She said the candle smell reminded her of it or something, but yeah, she has this candle smells like my something.
Okay, let me speak for a second. Hi. Happy Friday.
Hi.
In this case of Harvey Weinstein, I don't believe that he raped anybody. I don't. I really don't believe that happened. Want to know why? He doesn't have to, because all of these women who supposedly were the victims, all of them were in one career. They were trying to be actresses and be famous and make it. So you don't have to force yourself on somebody when you have the power of their whole future in your hand. I don't believe that he ever had to hold anyone down to get this done. If she meant that he forced her in the way of basically giving her the option of either fame and fortune and greatness, or you become a nobody, return to being a nobody, then yeah, you could say that she was technically forced if she feels that fame was the only option. But I still don't believe that he had to actually hold anybody down and and there was a struggle in this office just to get.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't believe that the struggle
he's
actually had to be done.
he's
I
fat.
mean,
He
there was a
doesn't have to hold them
shitty
down. He
choice.
just lays on top of them. Uh,
They might have
but
been bad choices, but they were still choices.
yeah, and it's there. The idea we've kind of built in society is that there's always a victim, so you have to find the way they were victimized type thing. A girl who regrets having sex with a dude is a victim of something. It's all no, you just regret a decision. It happens to us all, right? Um,
I
yeah,
mean, I've seen
there's
Harvey. I could totally get regretting that. Yeah.
yeah, there's the power dynamic. He had all this power, and so somehow they couldn't say no. That's not true. If you go with power dynamics, anytime like if I slept with a hot chick, power dynamic, why she's so much hotter than me, uh, type thing. You trying to freaking sit there and find reasons why people were taken advantage of is sad. Just chalk it up to bad decisions, chalk it up to bad choices, and like I said, get on with it. But our society has become this like I don't know bag of
Well,
pussies.
what's really funny about that too is because a lot of women gained a lot of power and influence and roles and such from rolling with the Me Too movement over there. In particular, one stands out in my mind, and she wasn't his only personal assistant. She was only his personal assistant for like I don't know, I think 6 months or maybe even 3 months, something like that. But Leslie Headland, who is now one of the top people in the Lucasfilm story group, right? Who kind of skyrocketed up under Kathleen Kennedy after Harvey Weinstein was convicted. But she was absolutely she was complicit. She was 100% complicit. She was sourcing these girls for him.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you're
Oh,
right,
you're
Ab.
here. Oh, you have graced us with your presence. Oh, did I hear a little birdie tweety tweet? Was that a birdie tweety tweet or was that Nomi?
It was me. I am here.
You're right, Abby. If regretting sleeping with a chick the next day made it grape, Sam's been grape so many times.
I mean, that's facts. Yeah.
What regret? What regret would Sam have? He doesn't
It's
have
called
any morals,
Amira.
values, or self-respect.
Amira,
you
there's a
don't you
thing
don't
called post nut clarity, and it affects
yeah
all men.
yeah you don't
You
think
have no dignity. Oh
you
my
don't
god.
think Sam's run into a Coyote Ugly situation a couple times, want to chew off a tentacle to get away?
Uh, no.
Chew off a tentacle.
Yep.
Wait,
Yep.
aren't tentacles gummy? Like you're very chewy and stretchy. Like you'll never get it off. Chewing
That's why I
all
bring
day.
a hacksaw to Tinder hookups, just in case.
He's all, what did I do?
The tentacles grow back. It'll be fine.
I would never do that. I'm a good boy.
Oh man. Yeah. No, that I look. I've had regrets. You know, I don't regret all of them by any means, but yeah, there's a few that
Like
I
beating
kind
the
of wish I'd made
devil.
better choices, like my ex-wife. You know, so no, it just is what it is, I guess. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know that legally speaking, I don't know that Harvey Weinstein deserves the prison sentence that he got. I do think that he probably deserves to be drummed the fuck out of Hollywood because he's a piece of shit and he takes advantage of people. But I don't think he's a. I don't know. Maybe there's more to it. Maybe there's more that I don't know. Carrie's insisting that there was at least one real victim, and if that's the case, yeah,
Carrie,
throw away the fucking key.
Carrie, even if they, I don't know, Carrie. I think you're too trusting. Zealage, what? What I do? What I do? But but no, Carrie, I don't know. Like you talking about this one story where this one person who says that it did happen. But the thing is, like, Carrie, if we all use our common sense, I there's no proof of it. There's no proof of that. So we just use our common sense in the situation. We can use devil, get back over here. You can use your common sense to in court. It's completely valid to use your common sense, Carrie. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence can be just as powerful as direct evidence. Okay, so the circumstantial evidence that we have is that it didn't happen because he had the power to make their career. The direct evidence would be a video, an audio tape, a proof, a witness that it actually happened. She doesn't have that. There are none of that. But we have circumstantial evidence saying that she was an actress who wanted to get her what there's proof medical records. What is a medical record? What did she had intercourse?
Yeah,
It depends. I mean,
you
there if there's tearing, if there's like any kind of like serious damage, kind of
yeah,
thing.
If
you
there's if there was like rips or anything.
yeah, when there it does show
She
up.
could have
That's the
been
reason they do rape
small.
kits.
She could have been small. Small girls rip all the time. I
No, no,
know.
it's
I
yeah,
guess
it's
maybe
the
I should.
forcing in that but yeah, they're okay, that's fine, but it also happens those same kind of tears happen with aggressive rough sex. It's not just it can happen otherwise, but I'm not even denying it. Like I said, I'm totally on board that he probably was a perverted rapist piece of shit. I just, like I said, I just think that a lot of the cases that were brought forward as some sort of evil were like I said, like Gwyneth Paltrow, and she wasn't raped. She gave him she gave him ass for fucking to be on what's it was it Shakespeare in Love. That was the big break that she wanted in her career, and he said, "Well, what are you gonna do for me?" And she said, dropped her doors. Sorry, that was a
Wait, well, I'm
choice.
sorry. I'm sorry. She said what? I didn't understand that language.
Dropped her drawers.
And that's the other thing is like people are acting like Harvey Weinstein was the only fucking casting couch in Hollywood.
Oh
Not by
yeah,
a long shot, but he was the Judas goat that they all used to keep the Me Too movement off themselves.
yeah, because that Me Too movement blew up and had how many victims, and only one was a major network star that actually did stuff. The other ones were like Aziz Ansari, who like a girl regretted blowing and wanted to get him canceled. You had that comedian, the chubby orange haired guy, who like asked girls if he could jerk off in front of them. Well, as
Oh
sick
yeah,
as that is, he
Louis
still
C.K.
asked. He didn't just whip it out. He
Louis
said, "Can
C.K.
I?" And they said,
Mhm.
"Sure." Well, that's a choice. You know,
You
it's
don't
a
have to stay
perverted
in the
choice,
room. It's
but
not like
hey,
you fucking locked it.
yeah,
You don't have to say. I can finish
yeah,
this party alone. No,
yeah.
but Carrie says consent causes one type of bruising. The other one causes a different type. Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm not going to say that it looks the same when, yeah, I get it. But you have so many women making false accusations today that when you see a rich and powerful man and you see women just jump on the wagon of other women's because it's popular at the time, that's what causes me not to believe them.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the false accusations are what makes it so hard for us to believe. Most guys, if you ask them, this dude raped that girl, what would you do to him? Cut his dick off, burn him alive, fuck him, we kill him. I have, I'm sorry. I think if you're some sick bastard who would hurt a woman like that, take him out. Don't want him in this world. Uh,
I totally
I'm very,
agree.
very pro death penalty. But we've had so many fake accusations. I mean, look at what happened with Trump the first time around. All these women coming out. Oh, he did it. He did it. Second he won, they're nowhere. You're telling me that the news that loved to bash Trump all of a sudden didn't want to put these women on? No, the accusations went away because he won. What's the point of false accusing him? And the one that came anywhere was Eugene Carroll, and she was found to have not been raped. The evidence proved she wasn't raped. And when he called her out on it, saying this bitch lied about me, they said it was defaming her, even though they proved that he was not there anywhere near that at that time. She flat out lied about it.
Yeah, it's not defaming him, it's defaming her, because
Yeah.
everything is about.
Yeah.
I'll believe all women.
And you know what? There's no
Yeah.
punishment for this, Devil and Samael and Nomi, if you're still here.
I'm
There's
here.
no punishment. There's no punishment. The women, there should be a new court law. There should be a new law, state and federal, against this. If you make a false accusation, that is a felony. Felonia. You can face over a year in prison.
Yeah. One of the most famous was what was it? Was it UVA? Was that the college? The guys hired a stripper, bunch of frat dudes. She came over and she like OD, did too much drugs or something, passed out in the bathroom.
Mhm.
She came to, said she was raped, pointed her finger at like 4 boys. There was no evidence of it. They literally went through, found absolutely nothing, but there was outrage. And the DA, because he wanted to make a career off of it, he wanted to move up from his position, started to prosecute these boys. He went on TV. He slandered them over and over again. He hid evidence, exculpatory evidence that could have cleared them. He did all these things. In fact, I'm pretty sure he was not only disbarred, but I think charged afterwards for doing what he did to try to get these boys, because he went on every show sitting there saying, I'm going to get justice for this girl. And his constituency was very, it was a black woman, and so that was the outrage. These rich white boys, raped this poor black girl. And so
it's
he
a
was
black stripper?
yeah. And so he used that to get votes to keep his office, but also he had plans to be governor and all these other things. And he was willing to destroy these kids' life. Finally, after like years, they were kicked out of college. They changed the rules at the school, went overboard on everything. It came out that no, she was not raped. She completely lied. And I don't think she faced even a one consequence because of it. And those boys'
Do you
lives
know?
were destroyed.
Of course, and it never goes away. Stuff like that, even if they're proving innocent later, it still never goes away because it's something that stains you. And even though you wipe it off, that remnant, it still stays. I have something to say before Samuel goes. Samuel and Devil and Nomi.
Yeah.
Guys, the in colleges now, they're saying that there's a great culture in colleges, right? Now they're saying that 1 out of every 3 women gets sexually assaulted in college, right? Now, that is being said, but the truth is that actual rape has actually decreased. The amount of men who are actually holding women down and forcing themselves onto them is decreasing. The only thing that's increasing is what people consider sexual assault. That's the reason why the numbers are still at a level that it is because what people consider sexual assault is different now. Now
Yeah.
people are like, if a woman just feels merely uncomfortable, if you touch her and she doesn't want to be touched, that's also considered rape. And that's the only reason why the numbers are inflated.
Yeah. They disproved that study. You're 100% right. Because what they did was they said, like you said, 1 in 3 women in college will be sexually assaulted. And then, but when you look at what they considered, what they classified as sexual assault, if you kiss a girl at a party, that's sexual assault. So if you and a girl are talking and you move in for a kiss and she goes, no, I'm good, you just sexually assaulted her under their eyes. They put all these things in there that no one in their right mind would consider sexual assault, just some dude trying to get some and he got shot down. oh well. Just so they
and
could
and,
inflate the
and
numbers to that point.
and if she's drinking, then it's also considered sexual assault because she couldn't fully consent.
Yeah. Even
Look,
if you were drinking too.
if she was drinking,
Even if
if he was drinking, then she should be liable for taking advantage of him
doesn't
too.
matter. Samael, it doesn't matter. It doesn't go
Oh,
that
I
way.
know it doesn't matter. I'm just saying that if things were right in this world, it would go both ways.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know, it's and look, I've been drunk and had relations with people who were drunk. I don't do it if they're drunk and I'm not. You know, for that very reason.
They only had 6 tentacles, not 8.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was
No,
done, they
maybe.
had like 3, but anyway, but you know, it's just one of those things. Like I absolutely believe the actual statistics of actual rape, actual sexual assault, are decreasing probably rapidly because more and more young men are afraid to even speak to young women. They won't go near them for just on the off chance that something gets misconstrued or something gets falsely reported. They won't go
Well,
near
not
'em.
even Samael, even you have people who are in a relationship. If the girl says no, she says yes in the beginning, and then after that she regrets doing it. Like, even though you guys are in a relationship, she'll say, "Oh, he raped me because I didn't really want to do it, but we did it anyway." It I don't know. Like, now I'm going to be a little bit transparent here. That means that every marriage, the woman is being raped, because how many times has a woman, even myself, said, "No, I don't want it. I don't want it." And as soon as it starts happening, I'm happy. I'm like, "Yeah, actually I do want this. This is awesome." Does that mean that I was raped now?
Well, I don't know. If you're saying no, then yeah, you probably should stop. But yeah, if your wife's all like, "I got a headache, honey," and start grabbing, and
You
she says,
gotta
"Okay,
convince
fine,"
her.
yeah,
Yeah, the man has to
and
do some work to
yeah,
convince her to actually want to. But
That's what
not every
forcement's
woman
for,
is.
man.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So how many times has a woman been like, "No, no, no, no. Okay, yeah, you know what?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
She said, I got a headache. That's okay. I'll just knock you out. It'll be fine.
yeah.
You won't
No,
feel a
Samuel,
thing
I wasn't going there. I
till
was
tomorrow.
trying to have her stay
Then you might,
conscious.
yeah, then you might have a migraine and be walking funny. But that'll be
Oh
tomorrow.
God. Oh my God. We're trying to keep the woman conscious. Samuel, conscious
Yeah.
is good.
Here, honey, have some Ambien.
No, my husband has given me
Probably.
melatonin before. He's like, "Go night, night, go night, night."
So-
That's his
Oh,
accent.
it's
Go night, night. Why am I
just the
going night,
Rockies,
night?
right?
No, it can destroy people, and like I said, I'm not trying in any way downplay how disgusting and awful the idea of rape is. It's bad. There's not even a single doubt about it. But yeah, you're right that they don't consider the awfulness of being falsely accused and having your life destroyed. I mean, just kind of put it in perspective. You're a dude, you live in a small town, right? Everyone's your friend, everyone knows you, they went to high school with you, they all like you. You go to the same diner, people say hi to you. It's that small town feel that everyone wants, the sense of family almost of the whole town. And some girl falsely accuses you. All those people, it doesn't matter that they know you. It doesn't matter that you've, spent time with their family at the lake. It doesn't matter that they come to you if you're whatever your job is to help them, if you're a mechanic, let's say, with their car. All that stuff goes out the thing because some person made a claim against you. And it just snowballs from there. You lose your wife because she's tired of people giving you bad looks and sitting next to you and having to people scowl at her. She takes your kids because now in the court she can sit there and say that the children are in danger because not because you were convicted, but because you're getting negative attention, and she's afraid it might affect the children, people calling you a rapist or whatever. So she gets custody of the children. You lose your business because no one's going to come to a mechanic that's accused of rape. Your whole life falls apart. 2 years later, it's found that you didn't do anything. You're completely exonerated. But the problem is people, when they do something fucked up, they tend to just ignore it instead of take responsibility for. So all those people who turn their back on you and spit in your fucking face, who used to be your friends, used to be your, like I said, almost like an extended family, instead of coming to you and saying, you know what, we're so sorry,
They double
that
down.
they ignore you. They ignore it because it's uncomfortable for them. It's uncomfortable for them to come forward and tell you how sorry they are. So instead, they just ignore you. So it doesn't change. Your life was destroyed and nothing's going to change for you. You still lost your wife. You still lost your kids. You still have no career. And all those people who you wish would just come up to you and say, I'm sorry, can I get a second chance, are too busy crossing the street and not looking at you because of their own shame.
And still talking to each other about it.
Yep. So that's kind of a tragedy too. I'm sorry. Like I said, any dude who rapes a girl ought to have his dick taken first of all. But dudes who get their lives literally destroyed from the ground up because they told a girl, I'm sorry, I'm just not that into you, or told a girl, I'm sorry, the hookup was just what I was looking for, I'm not looking for a relationship. That kind of shit is pretty.
Even worse is that I don't even understand how it happens in today's world. I mean, like, unless you're like madly obsessed with a girl and you have a mental sickness for her. But I don't understand how this happens because there's so much booty everywhere. If you want the booty is everywhere. Okay, you can have the burrito booty, you can have the chicken booty. The chicken booty is very nice. It makes a lot of sound, a cluck cluck cluck. You can have a donkey booty. Every booty that you want is outside. Okay, it's all for sale. But if you want it, it's out there. So I don't understand, like, what is now. I could understand before when it was very rare to see a woman and you're like, oh my god, there's a woman, this might be my only chance. Hold her down. But now it's not like that. Women are everywhere and the zabuti is for sale. So you don't need to do this anymore. You don't need to force her. You don't need to hold her down. You don't need to do it.
So Amir became like a freaking Arabian pimp there. You want the boob? You want the booty? We have all the booty. We have the donkey booty. We have the taco booty.
Did she remind you of Cheech Marin in From
Dude.
Dusk Till Dawn? We got sloppy pussy, wet pussy, giant pussy, small pussy.
Bloody pussy. Bloody.
Do you like Iraqi? Do you like Iranian
Dirty
pussy? Have we got Syrian as well? Oh, you don't like that? We also got the Greek. We got them over here because they like to think that they're one of us, but they're not.
Yeah.
We have Asian persuasion. We got Puerto Rican pecan.
Amira's pimp hand is strong.
We got Hispanic with the panics.
That's awful. I'm trying to find this thing that goes right along with this conversation, but I can't seem to find it anywhere because I don't know where the hell I saved it at. But there was a video that came out a little bit ago, so I'm just going to describe it because I can't fucking find the damn thing. Otherwise, we'd have tried to play it for you. Where it was AOC, right? It was a audio clip, a video of AOC talking.
Oh yeah, no
about
doesn't mean no.
No doesn't mean no. And like, do you have it?
No, but I seen it. I was all like,
Okay.
yeah.
She goes on and on about how no doesn't mean no. You know, that means there's some wiggle room and you can still negotiate and all this stuff. And then it does a hard cut to fucking Bill Cosby going, ooh.
Yeah, I've seen that one too. Yeah, that's
bad.
exactly it. For years we were told no means no. That's like if a girl says no, leave me the fuck alone. Okay, but if a girl playfully says no or something like that, like Amir said, you put your hand on her back, see if
You can tell. You can warm her
Yeah.
up. There's a chance you can warm her up to it.
yeah.
But yeah, there's some responses that literally mean leave me the f alone. I'm serious. I'm not
Yeah,
interested.
if she stabs you, it's probably time to back off for a little while.
I
Yeah.
mean, but there's some women like Nomi who stab for like foreplay. I mean, you just never know.
I did.
Sometimes you gotta
No, just-
test the waters.
Oh wait, honey, we're having sex. You could have told me. I would have put my book down.
Yeah. Well, that's you're 100% right. Sometimes, and also sometimes girls like to be pursued, right? They like the guy wanting them and them playing hard to get and shit. As creepy as that sounds, it's true. I'm sorry. So sometimes it's yeah, just be persistent and the
Aaron.
girl will be like, sure. But nowadays, like I said, persistency is considered wrong. If a girl says no, you're supposed to just like put your hands up, slowly back away.
And run.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean, that goes. I guess they also say that guys like a chase. Some guys like a chase. I'm not one of those guys. So if somebody says no to me, I'm gonna take them at their fucking word and go somewhere else.
yeah, down the hall to
It's
their mother's room.
obviously, but Sam, didn't you know? Sam,
Damn
no
it,
means
devil.
no, dude.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If they say no, I'm gonna believe that's what they mean, and I'm gonna go somewhere else.
No, it means there's this chance, Sam. You still got a
Do-
chance in this game.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. I'm not pushy. I'm with Devil on this 100% actual rapists, ground into fine powder and sprinkled under the foundation of the new prison.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll just use their ashes into the concrete, man. You got to build some sort of foundation and make an example out of these assholes.
Right. But unlike,
I don't
some guys, I'm also not married or attached to anybody either. So I have the option to move down the hall. You
To the
know,
mother's room. To the mother's
to
room.
somebody who will be like, "Oh yeah, I'm into it." As opposed to somebody who's just like, "No, no, oh no." I don't like fucking playing around those games.
Yeah.
It's annoying and it's time
It doesn't
consuming.
really
And
work like that. It doesn't really work like no, no, no. It's more
you know
like
what I mean.
I don't really want to. Not right now. Then she pulls out her
Sure. The
I'm
lovely Sherry,
busy.
Hey, Sherry.
who has
Oh, hi Sherry.
bad habit of
welcome
coming
to
into
the
conversations at the
welcome
exact wrong moment.
welcome to the channel. But it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's definitely like it's not like no, no, no. It's always like not right now. You know how it
Or
is.
it means or it means she wants something to happen to say yes. Like they're expecting something from you. The girl on the date might make it seem like she's not really feeling you, but it's because she wants you to be more aggressive. She wants you to be more,
Sure.
show that you want her and stuff. And so that's why she's being a little standoffish and shit.
Sure, that's possible too, but we're not fucking mind readers either.
Yeah, oh yeah, well exactly, dude. Girls need to
But
come
that's
with
why
a
men
freaking
try.
manual.
That's the thing.
You
That's why
should
they
have like a
try.
button on the back of your head we can push to tell us what the fuck you're
It's in
thinking.
Appendix 72.
Should be like, hold
In the
on, let me see.
footnotes.
There you go. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. No problem. Yeah. Guys, half the time we're just fucking guessing, and we have no clue.
But this is
Yeah,
why I
look,
appreciate my culture so much. That we don't have this dating culture. We don't have a lot of this stuff going on where it's like, what is it called? Like, unmarried sex going on. We don't have a lot of that going on. For us, it's pretty straightforward. She's your wife. You can do it. She's yours. She's not gonna say no. That is what it is. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't have the patience for that kind of shit or trying to figure out exactly what she wants. I'd prefer a woman was straight up and told me what she wants.
Yeah.
Save us both some time and energy and probably disappointment.
I want a
Yeah.
chicken burger. That's what I want, Sam.
why disappointment? Who's
Hopefully, you have a higher standard than that for sex, Nomi. I'm just saying. Give me a chicken sandwich. We'll call it even.
That's,
I
Nobody's a cheap date.
mean, I don't know if I shared this once. I mean, I didn't do anything with this, but there was a lot, like years ago, I tweeted out if a man ever brought me a Whataburger, a double cheeseburger with green chili with a sweet tea from Whataburger and a rose, I might cry. And one guy that I was talking or had an interest in at the time, he did that. He saw my tweet. He got me a double cheeseburger with green chili and a sweet tea from Whataburger and a rose. I actually did cry. So
See,
it doesn't take a lot. You can impress women with cheese, guys. Like if you get a fucking charcuterie board with whatever they like, or like a rose, maybe like a little wine spritz or whatever, they're gonna go crazy for that shit. You
I
gotta
don't know.
learn.
She
Yeah.
likes that French moldy shit. I'm out. That's a deal breaker.
Well, okay, I don't like blue cheese. That's gross. That's fucking disgusting.
Girls, the problem is that some girls they do like that. Some girls like a romantic guy that will, bring them roses, that will freaking write them a song, that will do all that stuff, and then there's other girls who don't. So it's just
I mean, I
like I
like gold
said.
bars. I like gold bars or gold coins. I'll accept gold coin too.
Amira's about that bling.
Yeah,
You know,
you
the kind of bling you
gotta.
can bash a skull in with.
You gotta come to Amira and grovel at her feet and say, "I've brought you 47 slaves and 2 bags of gold."
There you go. Now we're talking my language. Now the mood has, the mood has begun. Does somebody light candles in here? I just
Did it just get sexy in here with the double cheeseburger from Whataburger?
Yeah,
You know what? I got something for that.
Man, shoot.
I love that. Mira's all like that. Nomi's all like, "I want a Big Mac." What?
Yeah. Yeah, you bring me that green chili cheeseburger over here, boy.
when I start playing music.
He's all, "Take the bags of gold back over there and get the burger."
I want my slaves. I want my
hold on.
souls.
I mean, like, first of all, you bought a bag of gold and Whataburger? Oh my God, I hit the lottery with you.
People are gotta be specific. She wants 40 slaves, guys. Don't sit here and bring Larry over there and try to fucking tempt her. It's 40.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
It's like Alibaba and the 40 slaves.
Never enough.
I remember that story very differently, Devil. Yeah, I think we'll probably wrap it up here. We've got another show to get to here in a little while, and
Totally forgot.
I mean, the conversation was good. It kind of lost track of time a little bit. So
you see, that's what happens when I when I am grace you all with my superior presence.
Right.
Yeah, that's typically I typically have that effect on people where I make them forget what time it is and where they are and what their name is and if they're free or slaves. I
That'll happen when you hit people.
Oh yeah, it's. But it is. This was a good. This turned out better. The end of the show was way better than the beginning of the show. So, again, apologies about all the suck start at the beginning of it. But here we are.
What happened?
He's all like, "Well."
Oh, I had so many problems with the fucking internet and trying to get things up and running, and it wasn't good. So.
Oh, I would have taken over the show if I were here. I would have just.
That's what I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Abe, you're gonna get yourself killed. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, you got to watch what you say around some of these ladies, man, because they might drop an airplane on your house. I'm just saying.
Hey, I don't drop the airplane, okay? I drop the airplane.
I was gonna say, like, I'm the pilot, and then Amira hits the button of dropping those bombs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So let's go around the horn here. Nomi, where can people find you? What do you got coming up on the webs?
You can follow me on X at Nomi Without You. I always play games, and not only that, I dipped my toes into baking and cooking streams. It seems to be a big hit, so I'll be continue doing that. Tomorrow morning, I will be playing Split Fiction with Erudite over there on Moonskull and on my gaming platforms, which is Nomi Without You Play on YouTube and Kick at Nomi Without You. So come see me at 9 a.m. in the morning tomorrow. Nice. Mountain time.
Good deal. Good deal. Devil, what's next?
The Elza Pub over on the hub. Forget the name of my own channel. No, after that, no, you aren't.
You didn't.
But
Okay, you never invited me to the pub. You said I wasn't
We
cool
did.
enough.
We sent you a link once too. You just didn't come on.
yeah.
No, I couldn't that night. That night I really couldn't. But
Yeah.
But no, yeah, check out the pub. We had a brand new thumbnail. What do you think of it, Sam?
I liked it. It makes Anna look like she's whipping the shit out of Abe over a sandwich.
The burger. Yeah,
Yeah,
like okay, Anna was she at first she was confused what she had in her hand. It was it's a horse
that's a
crop
riding
because she
crop.
likes
Yeah.
she likes riding, but also the whole joke that evil villains beat people with riding crops. And then with Abe, the only thing I could come up with for his ass was make him into the Hamburglar, essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it came out very good. Cost me a pretty penny.
No, I like it.
But yeah, check that out here in 15 minutes. After that, I'm in Vegas. We're filming some stuff there. We're gonna do some videos, a live get ranked, where they're gonna force cookies down my throat. And Ballbusters Live. So check me out on those from Vegas.
Yeah, yeah. Amira, are you you're doing a show tomorrow night, correct?
yeah, I mean, I don't. What's it called? I don't advertise.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. That's also why I don't put your links in the description of this show, even though you come on fairly frequently. It's because, folks, you might not know this, but she yells at me about that, so I
Yeah.
stopped doing it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I'm weird like that. I just don't like advertising. I don't like soliciting.
No, that's fair. It's fair. It's good to have you here and participating in the conversations we're having over here as well. As for myself, next thing up is on the pub here in just a little bit. We got Screaming into the Void tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the bullshittery surrounding the direwolf claims that have recently surfaced, as well as tiny people looking for love and whatever else comes up. So that'll be fun.
Wait,
And
wait,
then
tiny people looking for love?
yeah,
All
there's
the
like
wrong
this
places.
30-year-old. There's like this 30-year-old who's
Hell, me and
like
Devil are
the
on
size of
it.
an American Girl doll. That yeah. Anyway,
She's the size of an American Girl doll.
Yeah,
yeah,
there's a
she's really
video.
small.
She's literally like that big. It's creepy.
Is
Very
is it Indian girl?
I think
Yeah.
she's Malaysian or something. Maybe she's Indian. Yeah.
She's
Okay,
somewhere in
okay.
that district.
She's
Yeah.
looking for love.
Well, she's 30.
Well, the question
She'd like to get married.
is how do you go about that? Because obviously she deserves some happiness. She deserves to find somebody, but most guys are going to be like, "Yeah, no. I don't want people to think I'm into her because I'm some sicko, like so
Yeah. So that'll be the
is there
conversation
ethical
tomorrow.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can you even mate with her? Because she's
Well,
so...
Mate?
that's part of what we're going to be discussing tomorrow too, because we don't really know the answer to that question at the moment. But and all that. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. And if and when Amira goes live, wherever she goes live, I will most likely be in the chat and behind the scenes helping out with that. So you can find me on her channel as well. Exiled Lioness 2. I'm not advertising for you. I'm just telling where I'm going to be. So that's how we're getting past this. And, on Monday, Adam the Renaissance Nerds channel, I do believe we'll be back with Mellow Mondays. Other than that, yeah, we'll see you guys here next week for Abyssal Musings, where we will finally get to the discussion about the thing with Larry's return. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the panel for being awesome and hanging out. And we'll see you all next time. Remember, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.